Hey everyone, here's our iteration plan sync meeting for the product marketing group for digital experience for February 28th. I'm gonna hand this over to Tina, and we can kind of just talk through our iteration these next couple weeks.
Thanks. I'm going to share my board for this because this is my last iteration before I go on PTO for a couple of weeks. So I'd like to go through every issue with everyone this time. First on my board is incubation engineering right now. Feels that I wanted to chat about maybe handing this over. I don't know when we're going to get any information for that. I know there was like a before the end of the quarter due date. I don't know if you want to remove the iteration
Yeah,
on this.
yeah. So the original due date was March 10th, but I think I don't think we're going to be able to hit that. So I'm happy to communicate that back to the stakeholders. We got the page brief, I believe, but we didn't get actual content, because it sounds like this is going to be more like a visually heavy page as opposed to like content heavy.
Okay.
So I'm happy to take that back to the stakeholders to be like, what is a more reasonable date, given that we had a couple of interruptions and delays already from their end.
Okay, so I'm going to put this into refinement or triage.
Yep.
Refinement
Uh,
is fine.
yeah, that's fine.
Okay, should I unassign myself or leave it?
Yeah, you can. That's fine.
Okay. Okay, that's good. The next thing I wanted to talk about, startups for join. We should wrap that up today. So that'll be my focus between now and the end of the day, probably a little bit tomorrow morning as well. Customer case studies, refresh. We have Nicole, who wants some of her feedback implemented into the design so she can go over the changes with Dave Steer, and that hopefully will be ready to start engineering this week. So all of that probably will need to be Q&A'd while I'm away, I would say by Jess. The solutions A/B dropdown, Philza, would you like me to focus on that this iteration? I know we have a meeting this afternoon to discuss that. Do you want me to have a plan ready for before I go?
Let me see what they say about the incubation engineering to see how urgent it is, because that might just
Okay.
take precedence over this. So
Over this.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, commit on the road. I am pretty much done the wireframes. I probably need another hour or two to refine some things. I'm not totally up to date with where the brand team is with the look and feel for this. So as soon as we get that, we can start applying the design to the page. I'm not sure if that can happen before I go or not, since I don't have that yet. But the event, the first event it should be live by April 19th. So it should get into engineering this iteration, the March 27th, April 9th, which is directly after I get back. So somebody's going to have to do the design while I'm on PTO if I can't do it next week. So that's another kind of like, I don't know what's happening with this page. We'll have to nudge the brand team maybe, or maybe we can set up a little sync with Michelle and Lou or Adam. Okay. Last is the DevSecOps survey. I left an update there as well. So here's another one where we're kind of blocked by the brand team. Oh, somebody kind of, Chandler just responded to my comment, but I can't really do anything this week on it because the design concepts, look and feel, aren't ready, and neither is the final content. But I figured if we do get another designer, they can start kind of working on data viz with Mateo or Margaret or whoever's going to lead this page while I'm gone. And then because I'm back on the 27th or 28th, and then the content is due on the 29th. So it actually falls right when I get back, and then I can take the design over the finish line. So maybe that one can just stay in my world. And then I'll jump back on it when I'm back, but I don't know if that's safe and gives engineering enough time.
I think well, there's a couple things that we might want to like initially work through some of the engineering questions to figure a few things out beforehand. That's stuff that we can like we may not need exactly. We might just use your wireframe without Brand to kind of understand like here's some of the features we're going to need to build custom for this page. Let's see how we can prep them and get them ready for final styling.
And this sounds like a good thing if you want like UX support for if we do have a contractor starting, that person can lead it because they don't need really any product marketing background knowledge or anything like that since it's like a one-off page. So yeah. Okay, well, those are my priorities for consideration. And thanks for letting me talk through all of these. I think that's it. Is there anything else, Gilza, that I'm missing? Okay.
Just the startups work that I know you and Mateo have been working on today and Friday.
Yeah, hopefully that's off my board by tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll hand it over to Mateo then.
Yes. For this iteration, I have the startups join page, which has been the high priority for the last couple of days. And I also have the customer case studies refresh. That's a new page. And also a small issue for removing the floating nav in the digital transformation page. That's what I will be working on. I'll pass it over to Nathan.
Thank you. Yeah, so speaking of customer case studies, I'm working on the template for that. It's in refinement right now, so I don't know if Justin or anyone has more information on that. I think we're just are they waiting for content on that before we do the template?
No, that's one that they're also to refinement because like we can start working on them. I was going to set them to do. I wanted to get Tina's thumbs up to say that we can probably start initial engineering work on it. Their thumbs up, so we can move that over to do. That's one that all of the customer case studies one like there could be a few changes coming in the next like week based upon reviews, but I think we're good to go to get this into engineering.
Okay, perfect. I just switched it to do. And then I picked up a bunch of smaller issues just to do in between meetings or like, those small ones where you don't want to do big context changes. So there's, if you go in Fastly, there's a bunch of warnings that pop up with our redirects or our configuration. So I want to get all those warnings out of the way. And by doing that, there's an issue where we can't redirect to anchor links. And I think they're related. So I'm hoping to knock those both out. And then I want to add the GitLab SaaS security job. So it should only run on production. It's just going to pick up vulnerabilities in our code. So if we have like global view variables that could compromise something, anyway, stuff like that. So I want to get that added in. And then there's just small things like anchor links is one of them, changing the name category on one of the DevOps pages to actually be the name of the stage, and then updating like the remote playbook cover image. So a lot of those are super quick. I'm just going to do them in between meetings or, when you have an hour downtime. But yeah, majority of the time will be on the case study stuff. And then whatever happens with localization. Now that I'll share it with everybody. We have a page now that's translated to German. So I'll share it and you can check it out. It's pretty neat. Who should I hand it over to? Javi?
Hot potato. All right. Yeah. This iteration, I'm working on adding a heroes pill to the solution header. This was for the startups join. CTA, that's something that came in through the pipeline last Friday. I have a fix for the automation solutions page. It looks like the YouTube embed isn't working for whatever reason. And then I have the browse all customer case studies page that's related to some of the work that you all are doing. Something else that I didn't put on the board, but I was working on last Friday in terms of like the repository health was I was trying to get a Google Lighthouse script to run on a scheduled job. So it'll essentially give us like an audit of how the site is doing. We just have to tell it like which pages to look at. That was something that I was kind of fiddling with and it's pretty much done. So I'll just pretty much write the CI for it and that's good and gun if we want to do that. It's like the sauce, but that's it for me. I think that's it. Oh no, Mark. I was like, my Zoom thing had like all of us, but you were like on the next page over. So I was like, wait, are you not here today? I was confused. But yeah, I'll pass it over.
Yep. So for this iteration, I'm gonna continue working on the MVC2 updates for the security and customer assurance package pages. And besides that, I'm just able to pick up on any open issues I can help with. I think that's it for me.
Yeah, Mark, I was going to create a couple issues for the DevSecOps thing just so we can chat through some ideas, so we can work through some of the custom things we might be trying to do that we haven't done before.
Okay.
All right, I think that is it now. Thanks, everyone.